AIs are contains all the features, like retrieval, tasks, and they can be autonomous, right? That will be different depending on how do you implement the AI in your company, right? But basically, all the AIs are capable of doing the same thing, right? So when we're talking about, missing one. It's missing one. Sorry, guys. Talking about AgenticAI, there are some business impacts on that, right? So nowadays, companies have different slow cycles to deploy applications, to deploy solutions, to deploy features to the companies. We have a lot of manual effort, and of course, we have a lot of people involved in the process, so we have a high cost nowadays during the manual work we have in the company. Bringing AI solutions to the company, we will bring also cost savings, employment capacity, and I'm not talking just about replacing people, but empowering people to do what they can do better. In general, creativity, in general, intelligent work as well, right? So we can make them focus on strategy and innovation, right? And of course, we can bring to the companies higher revenue. So what's Optimus is seeing in the market when we're talking about agentic AIs, right? We saw a lot of demos today, a lot of examples today. So sorry. Just wait. Most of the companies start doing customer support agents, right? So they try to replace the coming tickets, manage how they talk to the customer, how they respond to the customers. We also have some document processing AI innovations in the place, like loans, insurance, document reviews, right? And we saw some demos about predictive maintenance, right? Go ahead. Another use case we saw today, it's about agentic DevOps, right? We have the agentic DevOps doing the replacement of SRE, predicting failures and acting proactively when some failures happens in your environment. And as we talked before, we also can have the Azure Integration Service connected with AIs, right? Doing real-time data integration and empowering agents to respond to the incidents as soon as they happen, right? Most of the use cases we're seeing in the market are passive. The agents are waiting a human interaction to respond to something or to do something. And adding the power of the Azure Integration Service will bring to you the ability to trigger the agents as soon as something happens. And we're bringing to you a use case we have in place right now, that is the RFP response agent. Many companies are doing RFPs, responding to inquiries, doing documents and sending documents, trying to make more business, right? We saw in the beginning of this day some public sector demos as examples. This is one for the private one, for the private section. The solution is we can ingest the PDFs, the Word, the documents we may have from the questions of that RFP, right? We can interact with the agents we have inside the solution to answer or to change the answers we may provide to that RFP, right? And in the end, produce all the required documents. That's the intent of this agent, right? And what we did to achieve that, everybody will be able to upload the document there, the AI will do the processing, doing the analysis on top of that document. The operator will be able to do the review and interact with the agent to ensure the accuracy and the alignment of the responses, because every company responds in their own way, they have their own language, or they want to add different aspects in that RFP, right? We have the final preview, and of course, you can export the data and share the data in the required format, no matter what is it, right? So, just to show briefly, this is, I will not go too technical, but this is the architecture running on Azure about the solution. So we have the user interacting with Azure Container Apps, going to many different APIs, talking to AI Foundry behind the scenes, and producing documents and saving documents from our knowledge base, right? And we also have the integration with, again, the Azure Integration Service, eventually publishing relevant events to Event Grid, and then triggering other functions to do further work if needed. Okay? So let's see the demo about this RFP agent. So basically what we have, an interface. You can type the private name over there. You can upload the main RFP documents, which are your requirements, the document you might need to respond to. So there is all the details. You have all the questions, how to respond. Eventually, you may need to add supporting documents, like other RFPs you have responded before, documents about your company, right? So, no matter what document you can add here, and you also can add website links to complement and to give more data to your agent to respond your RFP in your behalf. All right, after that, the agent will start analysis, doing all the validations, ensuring that all the documents are generated and completed. And after some few seconds, you will start seeing the sections of the RFP you might need to respond, right? So you see here, you have an option to interact with natural language with the agents, and you can start typing or rebuilding the sections of your RFP. You may need to improve whatever you need to send, and after some few seconds, we will have the overview process, overview of the documents produced by the agent, so you can, again, review the whole thing before downloading the data to send to your customer, right? So as you can see, we have a generic response here, missing data. You are able to change using natural language, add it manually, or ask for regeneration, right? And voila, again, you'll start having your RFP responded, okay? Any questions here? No yet? Okay. So, our objective with this agent is to increase some aspects. You can respond RFPs faster, with more confidence. You will be able to generate more cohesive responses to your customers, right? And of course, you will be able to respond more RFPs at the same time, right? Okay. And it will export the documents in the format you may need to, PDF, Words, and whatever. Okay? Okay, Yep. So this RFP agent has those benefits. Reduce response time by 60%, they already have this running. Increase the accuracy because your FP will be filled with all the data required. You can double check. The agent will be responsible for reviewing it after the generation too, right? And it, of course, will increase your chances of winning the RFP because it will be better responded, right? With all the aspects there, so avoiding the goes and backs. Okay? Well, that said, how can Optimus help you bring more AI to your organization, right? We have some prioritized use cases that can align to the business strategy, building and cleaning and understanding feasibility and disability and viability with some workshops. We have the AI envisioning workshop running right now that may help you figure out which use case your company may have, or which use case you must implement first, define the priority of those use cases, right? So we have some complementary workshops running that may help you bring AI to the business, right? And of course, this will also eventually give you access to Microsoft-funded proofs of value. So eventually, we can bring the workshops to your company, find out which use case you need, and then talk to Microsoft for some funding, right? And that's it, very briefly, because we are on time. Okay, any questions?